Have you ever noticed that little buzz you get from a notification? That constant little pull to check your phone for likes, comments, or shares? Well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into the science behind why we're so hooked on that digital approval, and more importantly, how you can start to reclaim your focus and really master your own mind. So let's just start with this really basic question. Why does a tiny digital heart or a thumbs up, why does it actually feel so good? I mean, it seems kind of trivial, right? But that little thrill is the key to understanding this massive psychological trap that affects millions of us every single day. And here's the thing, that feeling, it's not just in your head. It is a very real biological process. And this brings us right to what we're calling the validation trap. It all starts with unlocking something deep inside your brain's reward loop. Now, this isn't some new system that came with smartphones. It is ancient. Our brains are hardwired with this reward loop. See, for thousands of years, social approval was absolutely crucial for our survival. So our brains evolved to give us a little hit of dopamine whenever we got it. The problem is, modern social media apps are designed very intentionally to hijack that exact system, feeding us tiny, unpredictable hits of that same feel-good chemical to keep us scrolling. And the result is this really powerful and usually subconscious cycle. We post something, we wait, we get a like, we feel good for a second, and then we need another one. We get caught in this loop, constantly seeking that next little hit of validation from the outside world, which just keeps our attention fragmented and our focus totally shallow. But here's the good news. There is a really powerful alternative to living like that. It involves making a shift from this world of external approval to one that's driven by something way more stable: internal validation. And this chart just lays out the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got a mind that runs on notifications. This leads to an unstable self-image, tons of distraction, and ultimately lower performance. But on the right, you have a mind that generates its own sense of worth. And that leads to a stable self-image, strong attention control, and you guessed it, higher cognitive performance. The question is, which side do you want to be on? So, how do we make that shift? How do we get from the left side of that chart to the right? Well, the bridge between those two worlds is built with one incredibly powerful tool. It's the ability to think about your own thinking, a skill that's known as metacognition. So let's get practical. How do you actually build that bridge? How do you go from a mind that's being pulled in a million different directions to one that is focused, stable, and totally self-directed? It all starts right here. Metacognition. Now, I know it sounds like a complex academic word, but it's really simple. It's just the act of stepping back and observing your own mind work. Instead of just reacting to everything, you become the manager of your thoughts. This is the master skill for taking back control. Okay, so what does this look like in practice? Developing metacognition isn't some vague mental exercise. It is all about building concrete habits. Let's break it down into 3 core pillars for developing a truly masterful internal mind. All right, let's break these down. First up, self-correction. This is simply the act of noticing when your mind is wandering or craving that little hit of validation, and then gently guiding it back. For instance, maybe you're writing an email and you feel that twitch to check your phone. That moment of noticing the urge is the self-correction. You just observe it, no judgment, and then you get back to the email. Second, you build the habit of sustaining focus. Think of this like a muscle. Every time you consciously choose to ignore a notification, you're doing a rep at the gym for your brain. You're training your mind that what you're doing right now is more important than some random digital ping. And third, you learn to own your response. This means realizing that between an event, like say getting a negative comment, and your reaction, there is a space. And in that tiny space lies your power to choose how you respond, instead of just having an automatic knee-jerk reaction. Now, that third pillar, owning your response, it's powered by this one core concept, an internal locus of control. It is the deep down belief that you, not outside forces, are in control of the outcomes in your life. When you truly believe this, external things, especially digital notifications, start to lose their power over you. So, why does all this matter? I mean, what's the real payoff for doing all this mental work? Well, the benefits are huge, and they give you what you could call the metacognitive edge. By mastering your mind this way, you gain a stable self-image that doesn't need likes to feel good about itself. You develop the ability for deep, sustained focus. Your overall cognitive performance actually improves. And maybe most importantly, you build this mental resilience that lets you stay calm and effective, even when things around you get chaotic. And this quote really ties it all together beautifully. It's not just about getting more work done. It's about your core sense of self. Your ability to control your attention is directly, and I mean directly, linked to how stable your self-image is. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Your attention is your greatest, most valuable power. The only question is, in a world that is designed to steal it from you, who or what is really in control of yours?